The City of Lawrence is fortunate to have many individuals and organizations doing important and effective work to improve all aspects of that city. Still, no single leader, group, or organization can do it alone. That's why a little over a year ago, a group of presidents, CEOs, and executive directors of banks, mills, businesses, schools, and community organizations in Lawrence, along with elected officials, came together to create a new private-public sector collaboration modeled after similar successful ventures in Lowell and Salem and other cities that have experienced this kind of significant revitalization. Now, the Lawrence Partnership is focused on economic development and improving the quality of life in the city with an emphasis on generating ideas, investment, and action. To tell us more, we've invited the Honorable Mayor of Lawrence, Rivera, the Executive Director of the Lawrence Partnership, Derek Mitchell. We also have President and Chief Operating Officer of Eastern Bank, our good friend Bob Rivers, and Lane Glenn, who is the president of Northern Essex Community College, who has a campus right in the middle, actually a couple campuses, and is a big supporter of this. Welcome to Urban Update again. Viva Lawrence.
Viva Lawrence.
Absolutely. Good, good. Derek, I'm going to start with you because for those who don't know, I try to give a little synopsis, but what's your elevator pitch? How do you describe what the partnership, Lawrence Partnership is all about?
I mean, if it's a short elevator ride, I mean, simply you get more done working together. And I think that we've recognized that the public sector, we've got a great leader in Mayor Rivera, but the private sector with so many leaders in the community, including Bob Rivers and others, working closely together to share a vision for the community. We're more likely to get big projects done. We're making it a great community to do business. We want to invite others to do business in Lawrence and share all the good stories that are already happening. And we recognize we can do it together, the things we couldn't do by ourselves.
And it's private and public. So
that's right.
Before I get to the other gentleman, give me some ideas of some of the organizations that are already.
So we've got representation from the community college, obviously, the health sector, the hospital and the health center. We've got financial institutions. We've got a couple nonprofit executives. We've got large developers and mill owners. We've got some local business owners that have started locally and then growing themselves into large entities. And we've got global manufacturers that are housed in Lawrence that are vital to our local economy.
Yeah, I'm looking at you smiling because is this a mayor's best friend to have something like this happen?
Absolutely. I mean, you can think about all the things that we struggle with to get the word out, to trying to get the stuff in Lawrence, but it helps to have all the heads. This is the important part. They come to the meetings, all the presidents, CEOs of all the organizations that he talked about, to be there, and it's kind of a community where they play off of each other. Well, we want to make sure that everybody's doing the same thing, going in the same direction. Back before modern day America, we used to have the community fathers and mothers that would come together, the business owners, the people who own the newspaper, people who own the banks. They would keep the financial situation kind of in check. We don't have that today. I mean, everything's in Lawrence, since so much stuff has gone, having these businesses who work together almost every day come together to talk together about problems and opportunities more important, because a lot of people think, oh, stuff's just really not able to happen in Lawrence, but when you have all these CEOs, all these presidents together, they say, oh, absolutely, we're doing things big every day in Lawrence.
Bob, I'm going to go with you because as a head of a financial institution, how important is it to get all of these competitors and collaborators all together in the same room for one common goal?
Oh, it's absolutely critical. I think in any city, no matter where you are, and I can't say enough how much the leadership of Mayor Rivera adds to this equation. I've had the privilege of being involved in other organizations in other cities and towns that are very much like this, and it's so important that you have the business, nonprofit, and governmental leaders all in sync, and when you do, it really rolls.
Yeah. Well, you've been a big supporter and fan of the City of Lawrence with new leadership. You've got so many success stories coming out of there, but being in a room with all these guys, does that give you even more energy?
Energy, optimism, hope, all those things. Yeah. You know, you hit it in the introduction. Ideas, investment, action. That's what this partnership is all about. And having all those entities in the same room together, looking at education, looking at job development, looking at creating a fertile business climate, all those things in the city, to have everybody pulling in the same direction. Great elevator pitch, even if it's a short ride, right? It's about partnership and being together. Absolutely.
For those watching, what projects have you successfully advocated for and or launched up to date? I know it's only been less than 2 years, but what are some concrete things you've been able to accomplish?
So recently we launched the Lawrence Venture Loan Fund. It's a $1 million loan fund that's really being spearheaded by 4 local banks, as well as some support from the city, and it's putting capital into some businesses that wouldn't otherwise have access to it. These are startup businesses, retail businesses, and they need capital to grow. And Lawrence is an entrepreneurial community, and there's ideas coming out at every street. Sometimes they just lack access to the money to get to scale. And so we've only been around for about 3 months of this loan fund, and we've already lent out almost a third of it. It shows that the business climate there is great for these startups, and working in collaboration, we were able to put this loan fund together that no institution by themselves would have been able to do.
And the impact of the loan fund, I mean, it's real. One of the ones, the bakery, Cibaeña Bakery, and they bought 2 pieces of equipment. They bought an oven and a mixer, and they had the old 100-year-old mixer they've been using next to the new mixer, and it's going to make a world of difference. They're going to hire people that can walk to work there, and again, that immediate impact of those dollars we hadn't seen in Lawrence.
Yeah, and I'm going to come to you because I want to specifically ask you, what made you come into Lawrence? Eastern Bank came back first bank to come into that market in over 2 decades. Now you've got 2 branches there. What makes Lawrence a good place to do business?
We see today what we saw coming in, a vibrant community, lots of growth opportunity. Just as the mayor and Derek mentioned, you make that investment and it just rolls because you've got a terrific workforce there, you've got businesses that are ready to grow, and we saw all that potential, and many others have. Since we've opened those branches, other banks and other businesses have come in as well.
So that makes you feel good. It was a good decision and a right decision.
We couldn't have hit it. The timing couldn't have been better, I have to tell you.
What's your vision for the near future, my friend?
Something that's on our agenda right now that we're all pitching in toward. Like a lot of gateway cities, Lawrence has struggled a bit with employment, training, getting people ready for the workforce. You heard Bob mention that. The employers around this table right now, that's one of our strong areas of focus. Identifying what those jobs are, matching people up with the training that's necessary, getting them those skills and putting them to work. This mayor here has been a wonderful mayor, not just for the city, but for the region, because when he talks about employment, he talks about this workforce serving the city of Lawrence and all the cities around it.
Awesome.
And the better we can educate and train them, the better off the whole region will be.
All right, guys, I don't want to put you guys on the spot, but this is TV, and I'm going to go real quick around the table. For those, maybe some people who've never been to Lawrence, believe it or not, this channel covers a wide area. So I'm going to give you, very briefly, less than 5 seconds, how do you describe the city of Lawrence?
Vibrant workforce, a great place to live, a great place to do business, and you can get there from Boston in 30 minutes.
Okay.
I mean, I think it's a great place for people to start businesses. It's an immigrant community. Entrepreneurism is part of our DNA. It's always been that way.
Energy, excitement, culture. You want to get something done, there'll be at least 12 people step up and help you do it. It's fantastic.
The Miami of New England.
Oh,
nice.
That's why you see me up there. He hit it on that. Leave it to Bob Rivers to put my life in perspective. And youth. Very young city.
Youngest in the Commonwealth.
Guys, keep it up. Hopefully I'll have you back on later during the year.
Hey,
you work it out, Derek, and I'll keep you on.
Hey, see you next week.
Hey, my favorite place ever. My favorite place in Boston, Fenway Park, as you've never seen it. All the information right here on Urban Update.